Hey there, fabulous folks! Today, I am beyond excited to take you on a delectable journey into the realm of vegan Thanksgiving feasting. We're about to explore 3 mouth-watering side dishes that are not only plant-based, but bursting with so much flavor, they might just steal the spotlight from the main course. So grab your aprons and get ready to embark on this culinary adventure with me. Hi, I'm Nancy from Miss Savory. I am a food blogger, mom, and an expert in healthy and delicious vegetarian and vegan cuisine. Here on my channel, you will not only learn more about vegan and vegetarian nutrition, but you will also get lots of delicious, quick, and easy recipes. So let's get started right away. Recipe number 1, vegan classic stuffing. First up, let's dive into a dish that's close to my heart, classic stuffing with a vegan twist. Now, stuffing has always been a Thanksgiving staple, and I'm here to show you how to make it not only meat-free, but incredibly satisfying. Buckle up, because we're about to turn ordinary bread into a masterpiece. When it comes to selecting the bread, quality is key. Opt for a sturdy loaf with a good structure. Think artisan-style bread or a rustic sourdough. Steer clear of overly soft sandwich bread. We want that perfect balance of texture. Now, here's a little secret. Tearing the bread into roughly 1-inch pieces gives you these beautiful, craggy edges that crisp up perfectly in the oven. If you're a fan of extra crispy bits, trust me, tearing is the way to go. Now, let's talk strategy. If you're the type who plans ahead, unlike me on most days, you can tear up your bread the night before and let it sit out to dry. This will allow it to absorb all the fantastic flavors of the butter, broth, and seasonings we'll be adding later, but no worries if you forget. A quick dry out in the oven at 300 degrees will do the trick just as well. Now, on to the veggie trio that forms the heart of our stuffing: onion, celery, and garlic. Even if you're not usually a fan of celery, give it a shot in this recipe. Trust me, it transforms into something magical when sautéed with the other ingredients. Dice up about 2 cups of celery, aiming for a fine dice. Of course, personal preference plays a role here. Adjust the chunkiness to your liking. We're also dicing up a good old white or yellow onion. Go big with your choice because we want these flavors to shine. And don't forget the garlic. A few cloves minced up and ready to release their aromatic charm. Now the sautéing part. Cue the sizzling symphony. In a skillet, melt a stick of your favorite vegan butter. This is where your choice of butter really matters, as it's a prominent flavor in the dish. Personally, I'm a fan of melt, Miyoko's, or country crock. Toss in the onion and celery and let them dance around the pan for about 5 to 8 minutes. That lovely color change you're seeing, that's the magic happening. Now, invite the minced garlic to the party and sauté for another delightful minute. Ah, seasoning time. Enter poultry seasoning, a blend of herbs that brings that quintessential Thanksgiving aroma to your stuffing. Thyme, sage, marjoram, rosemary, and a touch of nutmeg. It's like the autumnal spirit captured in a jar. But why stop there? Let's give this dish a personal touch with some fresh herbs. Chop up a few tablespoons of rosemary, sage, and parsley. Or, hey, it's your adventure, so feel free to mix and match according to your taste. These herbs are the secret to a burst of flavor and a dash of vibrant color. Now let's take a step back from the stove and talk strategy. Before we dive into baking, we need to prep our baking dish. Since stuffing is a star player on any Thanksgiving table, it deserves a spacious 9x13 or a large casserole pan. Give it a quick spray of cooking oil or a light buttery coating to make sure nothing sticks. And now, the grand assembly. Grab the biggest mixing bowl in your kitchen. Trust me, you'll thank me later when you're not chasing runaway bread cubes. In go your torn bread pieces, followed by the sautéed veggie medley. A quick toss to distribute those flavors, and you're on your way to stuffing greatness. But wait, the liquid element is about to make its entrance. Say hello to vegetable broth, carrying a chicken-style bouillon cube for that extra savory punch. Now, here's where I reveal my stuffing secret, a couple of just egg equivalents. These bind everything together beautifully, creating a cohesive, custardy texture. Not a necessity, but definitely a flavor-enhancing bonus. Gently pour in the liquid, giving the mixture a toss after each addition. The goal here is to moisten the bread without turning it into a soggy mess. Now, let's be real. The volume of liquid needed can vary based on the bread's initial moisture level. Keep adding, tossing, and gauging until your bread cubes are perfectly moist, but not drenched. With that, it's showtime for your masterpiece. Transfer the stuffing to your awaiting greased pan and pop it into a preheated oven at 350 degrees. Your kitchen will soon be filled with the irresistible aroma of Thanksgiving nostalgia. Around 40 to 45 minutes later, the moment of truth arrives. A golden brown, crispy-topped vegan stuffing that embodies all the classic flavors you remember. Picture this: a plate piled high with your vegan stuffing, glistening under a drizzle of rich, savory gravy. Each bite is a symphony of textures and flavors, bringing back memories of Thanksgiving's past. And the best part? You've created this masterpiece yourself, with a little twist to make it all plant-based. Ingredients: 1 loaf of good quality bread, artisan or rustic sourdough, 2 cups celery, finely diced, 1 large white or yellow onion, diced, minced garlic as desired, 1 stick of vegan butter, poultry seasoning, 2 tablespoons, fresh herbs, rosemary, sage, parsley as desired, vegetable broth or chicken-style vegetable bouillon, vegan egg substitute, optional equivalent of 2 eggs, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions: tear the bread into roughly 1-inch pieces and let them dry overnight or bake in a 300 degrees Fahrenheit oven until dried. Sauté diced celery and onion in vegan butter until they start to color. Add minced garlic and sauté for another minute. Add poultry seasoning and fresh herbs, then remove from heat. Prep a baking dish and preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In a large mixing bowl, combine the dried bread and sautéed veggies. Mix vegetable broth or dissolved bouillon with vegan egg substitute, if using. Gradually pour the liquid mixture over the bread mixture, tossing to moisten. Transfer to the baking dish and bake for 40 to 45 minutes until golden and crispy on top. Serve your delicious vegan stuffing as a side dish for Thanksgiving or any festive meal. Recipe number 2, vegan green bean casserole. But wait, there's more. Our Thanksgiving feast isn't complete without a show-stopping vegan green bean casserole. Now, I'll admit, this wasn't on my radar growing up, but one taste at a friend's gathering changed everything. This dish is the perfect harmony of hearty and fresh, and I can't wait to share how to whip it up. Start with a pound of fresh green beans, about 4 cups. Trim those ends and cut them in half. It's like prepping little green soldiers for their flavor battle. Bring a pot of water to a boil and have an ice bath ready to go. Quick, blanch the beans for a minute or 2. They'll turn this vibrant, irresistible green. Dive them into that ice bath to maintain their crispiness, and now you've got yourself the freshest green beans in town. Get ready for some kitchen magic, because we're making our very own vegan creamy mushroom soup base. Gather a pound of mushrooms. Creminous are my go-to, but you can play around with your favorites. Give them a good clean and slice them up. Thin is the name of the game. Next up, a dance of flavors, onions and garlic. Sauté these in a skillet with a drizzle of olive oil or a sizzle of vegan butter. Your kitchen will soon be enveloped in that irresistible aroma. But the real star of this show is the creamy concoction that brings it all together. Blend soaked cashews with water until you get a velvety, dreamy cream. This is where the magic happens. This cream will transform into a luscious sauce that coats every single green bean. Now, here's where personalization comes in seasoning. Dried thyme is my go-to, but feel free to play around with rosemary, sage, parsley, whatever herbs tickle your fancy. This sauce will simmer away, thickening into a luxurious blanket of flavor. And here's the part where you get to be the conductor of your culinary symphony. Stir in the blanched green beans and a handful of those iconic French fried onions. This is where the dish gets its irresistible crunch. Pop it into the oven at 350 degrees, and in about 30 minutes, you've got yourself a vegan green bean casserole that'll leave your taste buds applauding. Imagine that first bite. The tender yet snappy green beans, the creamy mushroom sauce, and the crispy golden onions on top. It's like Thanksgiving on a fork, with all the classic flavors you adore, but with a fresh, plant-powered twist. Ingredients: 1 pound fresh green beans trimmed and halved, 1 pound mushrooms, cremini or your choice, sliced. 1 small white or yellow onion, thinly sliced. Minced garlic, 3 to 6 cloves. Olive oil or vegan butter. Dry white wine or vegetable broth. Cashew cream, prepared from soaked cashews and water. Dried thyme or other herbs of choice. Salt and pepper to taste. French fried onions, about half a container. Instructions. Blanch green beans in boiling water for 1 to 2 minutes, then transfer to an ice bath. Sauté sliced mushrooms in olive oil or vegan butter until they release moisture. Add sliced onions and sauté until lightly browned. Add minced garlic and sauté briefly. Create a roux by adding flour and then deglaze with white wine or broth. Stir in cashew cream and herbs, allowing the mixture to thicken. Season with salt and pepper, then fold in blanched green beans and some fried onions. Transfer the mixture to a baking dish and top with the remaining fried onions. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes until bubbly and golden. Serve this creamy and crispy vegan green bean casserole as a delightful Thanksgiving side. Recipe number 3, vegan scalloped potatoes. But dear friends, our feast is not complete without the crown jewel, vegan scalloped potatoes. Creamy, dreamy, and oh so comforting, these potatoes are a celebration on a plate. Now let's dive into the details and create a dish that's as impressive as it is delicious. Start with about 2 pounds of potatoes, Yukon Gold or Russet. Peeling is a personal choice, but for that velvety texture, I'd recommend it. Slice those beauties into thin, uniform pieces, aiming for about 1x4 to 1 BT 8-inch thickness. It's like you're crafting potato art. And now, the pièce de résistance, the creamy sauce. Traditionally, scalloped potatoes call for cream, but we're taking a detour to creamy Veganville with a cashew-based sauce. Blend soaked cashews with garlic until you achieve velvety smoothness. It's like turning cashews into culinary magic. Pour this sauce over your layers of potatoes, making sure they're nicely coated but not drowning. And here's where the flavor magic happens: herbs and seasoning. Scatter your choice of herbs, thyme, rosemary, or parsley, for that aromatic symphony. Salt and pepper make their grand entrance, ensuring each layer is a burst of flavor. Now let's talk strategy. Cover your dish, whether it's a casserole pan or a cast iron skillet, with aluminum foil. This seals in the flavors and ensures your potatoes cook to perfection. Pop it into the oven at 350 degrees, and in about 45 minutes, the magic unfolds. Uncover your creation and behold the masterpiece, creamy, bubbling goodness with the aroma of Thanksgiving wafting through the air. Those top layers are golden and crispy, while the inside is a symphony of textures and flavors. It's like a cozy hug on a plate. Imagine savoring a forkful of these scalloped potatoes, the creamy, tender slices melting in your mouth, punctuated by the hint of herbs and the irresistible crispiness of the top layer. It's a flavor journey that's both comforting and exciting, a true celebration of the magic that happens in the kitchen. Ingredients: 2 pounds potatoes, Yukon Gold or Russet, peeled and thinly sliced, minced garlic, 3 cloves, cashew cream, prepared from soaked cashews and garlic, dried thyme or other herbs of choice, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions: preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and grease a casserole dish or cast iron skillet. Create a layer of thinly sliced potatoes at the bottom of the dish. Top with half of the minced garlic, dried thyme, salt, and pepper. Add another layer of sliced potatoes, followed by the rest of the garlic, thyme, salt, and pepper. Finish with a final layer of potatoes. Blend soaked cashews with garlic to make cashew cream. Pour the cashew cream over the potatoes, making sure they are coated. Cover the dish with aluminum foil and bake for about 45 minutes. Uncover and continue baking for an additional 35 to 40 minutes until golden and bubbly. Enjoy the creamy and comforting goodness of these vegan scalloped potatoes on your Thanksgiving table. And there you have it, my fellow food adventurers, 3 sensational vegan Thanksgiving side dishes that are not only bursting with flavor, but carry a touch of personal flair. Your holiday table is about to be the talk of the town, with these plant-based creations stealing the spotlight. From the classic stuffing that takes you back in time to the vibrant green bean casserole that brings a touch of freshness, and the decadent scalloped potatoes that are pure comfort, you're all set for a Thanksgiving feast that's both delicious and compassionate. So go ahead, roll up your sleeves and embrace the joy of cooking. Let these recipes be a canvas for your creativity, an opportunity to infuse your personal touch into every dish. After all, food is a universal language of love and connection, and what better way to celebrate Thanksgiving than by sharing these mouth-watering delights with your loved ones? As you gather around the table, surrounded by friends and family, these side dishes will not only satisfy your taste buds, but also warm your hearts. The laughter, the stories, and the shared moments of gratitude, they're all part of what makes Thanksgiving truly special. So, with these recipes as your culinary companions, let the Thanksgiving feast begin. From my kitchen to yours, have a joyful, delicious, and incredibly heartwarming celebration. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone! Be sure to check out my other nutrition tips and recipes on my channel. There is sure to be something delicious and healthy for you. I'm really happy if you subscribe to my channel, and then we'll see you in the next video.